Now, while we have been focusing on the economic part and how it will in fact translate in our daily lives, here is politics now that's erupting over the GST rate cuts. Congress has come out to call the GST cuts 8 years too late. Congress has said, and I quote, "Where were reforms when millions suffered?" Congress's big Gabbar Singh Tax jibe at the government. For 8 years, poor were being punished, MSMEs crushed. This is what we are in fact bringing to you viewers in terms of what the opposition has been saying about the GST reforms that has now in fact been announced by the finance minister. The Congress's Gabbar Singh Tax jibe continues, and they have in fact raised this question that it's not only 8 years too late, but so long the poor were being punished, MSMEs being crushed. Where were these reforms then? Aishwarya Paliwal joining me on the broadcast to bring us more details into this. Aishwarya, these are the comments, remarks that we are seeing from the opposition, specifically the Congress, which continues with its jibe of Gabbar Singh Tax despite the cuts that's now been announced. How are we looking at it?
Well, Sriya, this is something which was expected. The opposition, especially the Congress party, has been pointing fingers. Let me tell you what we will see in coming days. It will be the Congress party and leaders like Manikam Tagore, Chidambaram, who will now go ahead and say that they were the ones who were speaking about the fact that there should be simplification of the GST, and it's because of the pressure that the opposition, especially the Congress party, was putting in, because of which we are now seeing that the government has actually done it. It's just a matter of time. You just wait for the next 24 hours and you will see. Now they have started pointing fingers that this is something which should have been done 8 years ago. They are welcoming it, but it is too late. The current design of the GST and the rates until today ought to have been introduced in the first place. This is what P. Chidambaram, former finance minister, is also saying. And we are seeing how elections in Bihar, that's also something that the opposition is pointing fingers at, that this is being done only because the BJP was thinking that the ground is slipping beneath their feet, and that's the reason why this kind of massive dole, you can say, has been given to the people of the country.
You know, Aishwarya, if we look at even the budget that had come out previously, earlier this year, as well as these GST reforms, we've seen it's been quite on the lines of supporting the middle class, or rather boosting the middle class. And the reactions that have been coming in, yes, it's on expected lines, but do you think that this might actually backfire on the opposition, given that it might come out to sound anti-middle class at this given point?
Well, it could, but Shriya, what the opposition is pointing fingers is that this is exactly what they were saying when the GST, in the first place, 1st of July 2017 is when GST came into effect. At that time also, opposition leaders were pointing fingers and saying that simplification is the need of the hour. That simplification did not happen. It took 8 years for the government to make sure that they simplify these GST slabs. So the opposition will not let it go. And obviously, they will say that because they were the ones who were harping on the fact that simplification needs to be done. Now, keeping the elections in mind, and especially what happened in Lok Sabha elections, this is what some of the opposition leaders were speaking yesterday also, that because the BJP came to a number of 240, that's the reason why this simplification now is being done.
You know, Aishwarya, this jibe of... Aishwarya, thank you for in fact being with us and sharing what exactly are we looking at in terms of the opposition and them upping their ante against the government in terms of how these reforms come in 8 years too late.